Gentlemen, I'm surrounded by rally royalty and I'm not upset about it whatsoever. So we're going to talk all through rally heritage because Bates and McRae, they're synonymous with success, not only in Australian rally, but of course, British rally and rally around the world. But Alistair, we're going to start with you. 1995 British Rally champion. Of course, McRae. You guys are the reason I love motorsport. Quick question though, you're here on two wheels this weekend. What's going on? Why are you on a bike?
Well, I decided that at my time in life that I should maybe take up a new professional sport. So this is my introduction to bike racing.
Well, really, because I've done my research. Motorsport life did start out for you at the age of 12. You were motocross and motorbike trails. So I guess you thought maybe it was 2, then went to 4, back on 2 now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think yesterday and today's the opportunity to ride a superbike. So, as you said, I started on motocross. It was that long ago they called it scrambles. Yeah. Did schoolboy motocross, got into adults, but after a couple of knee operations and my mum telling me that it was too dangerous, we convinced my dad that I should go and get an over rally car and follow in Colin's footsteps then. But I've always continued to ride bikes. I love bikes. So when I get the opportunity for this, it's one I couldn't give up.
I can completely relate to that. My son is 10 and he was karting and now he's leaning towards motocross and I'm going, oh no. Oh no, don't be the helicopter mother, don't be the helicopter mother. Anyway, but thank you for that. It makes me feel better that even a McRae gets told that by their mum that it's too dangerous.
Yeah, no, she does. She was against, because my dad, he actually started on motorbikes as well. Yeah. And then he gave that up and bought a plumbing business. And my mum convinced him that you've got a business now, you need to be a man, sell your bikes. And then when he got the business going well, he wanted to go back to bikes. But a friend of his who raced bikes, he was now in rally cars. So I think he wandered his first rally at 30 years old and thought, yeah, no, I think I could do this. It turned out he was pretty good at it.
Well, Neil, 4-time Australian rally champion, you are royalty here for us. And this year you've brought along an expanded range of cars, of rally cars, for us all to immerse ourselves in. Why is it important to showcase rally at AMF this year?
Look, obviously it's a festival for all types of motorsport. You know, as Alistair said, he's riding a motorbike. There's F1 cars, there's touring cars, there's rally cars. So, you know, when they were going to have a rally category, I thought it was important that we showcase some cars, and so we brought some cars over. I'm fortunate enough to still own every car that I won a championship in. They're not all here because the S2000 car's always too difficult to run, but we've bought a good array of cars over here to put on a display. And I was just going to say, as Alistair said, if you want to go to the motorbike things, I raced motorbikes when I was younger as well, and after a ruptured spleen and a few other things, I then moved into cars. So if you're wanting ammunition for that stay in go-karts, there you go.
Yeah, thank you. I might give you a call up and be like, Neil Bates said. Now, Harry, I think everyone would think you're a 2-time champion yourself, but your inspiration, you would assume, is your father because, it's such a great legacy. So, but talk us through, your inspiration and why you decided to pursue rally yourself.
Realistically, I got started in rallying quite late. Growing up, I did all sorts of other sports, and Mum and Dad were always very supportive of my brother and I doing anything but motorsport. And then, much to Dad's disappointment, we both ended up getting behind the wheel and falling in love with motorsport in the end. So he did try, but here we are. But yeah, I guess for me, getting involved in rallying as an 18-year-old, the people I sort of looked up to were Sebastian Loeb, Sebastian Ogier. Obviously, you know, I saw Dad's career growing up and really wanted to emulate him as well. No. I did look up to you a bit too, so that's...
the bank of Dad. Yeah.
Actually, Alistair and I often have the conversation, who is the poorest rally dad?
And he just announced today that Lewis is doing his first event where he's not needing to pay for it. But how many years has that taken?
It's only taken 12 years or something.
So these two are like emotional support for each other because they've got all of their sons are rallying and they're feeling very broke most of the time. But no, for me, getting involved in rallying was something that I just sort of fell upon, and then ended up dedicating all of my time to it, and have ended up obviously having a little bit of success here in Australia and overseas as well. So yeah, it's an addictive sport. I absolutely love it, and it's also a great thing that we do together as a family, which is probably one of the more special things for us.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it, when you can share the highs and the lows with your family. I can't even imagine the lows in motorsport really kick you, and it'd be great to have family support around it. You guys are the reason why I love motorsport. I don't know if anyone else is like me, but the Colin McRae PlayStation game, anyone nodding? Yes. Oh, 1998, that was my year. I loved it so much. But of course, yeah, your family is synonymous with a rally, and Subaru is a big part of that history as well. Yourself, you've raced in different marques, Mitsubishi as well. But yeah, talk us through why Subaru became such an important, special part of a McRae family.
I think it was Colin got his first opportunity with Subaru, with the legacy, with David Richards. He'd done the British Championship with a bit like what we're doing now, paying for it. My dad was paying for it. Ford took notice and he did the RAC rally in a four-wheel drive Sierra and finished sixth, but the car was pretty beat up by the end of it, as it was normally. And at that time, he actually had nothing for the following year. And Dave Richards, who my dad had driven for with the Metro, he came up and said, look, I think I can pull a deal together with Rothmans for Colin to do the British Championship. We're developing this new rally car, which until that point, in the UK anyway, the Subaru was a Justy pickup. The farmers used it. So it was this legacy that, well, no, there's nothing there, we're going to try and do it. And if Dave Richards and ProDrive are involved, it should be good. And I think that was the entry into the Subaru into rallying. And Colin grew with Subaru. And as you say, by the end of it, you know, the name with Subaru is pretty synonymous. So I think it was just the fact that the two of them got to that level at the same time, and it obviously worked.
That's fantastic. And Neil, Toyota is obviously synonymous with yourself as well. 19 years you've been running the Australian rally program for Toyota. And also, sorry? 29?
29. Sorry, I thought you said 19. I was thinking it's been longer than that, but yeah,
oh, okay.
29 years.
Beg your pardon. Also, like you mentioned, you've brought two of the cars here that you've won championships in. What makes Toyota such a great rally car?
Look, it's amazing. When I got involved with Toyota, it was in 1989, and it was actually through a Star Search competition, and it was in touring cars. So I did a round at Winton in the front-wheel drive Corolla. For those in the audience, there's a few there to be old enough to remember when they had class cars at Bathurst. And I won that drive with motorbike racer Michael Dowson, and we went to Bathurst and then won our class at Bathurst and beat the factory car. So then I was actually got signed to be a touring car driver, but then they closed the team down, and it was the time they bought Sleeker GT4s into the country, and someone at Toyota said, oh, we bring these cars in called Sleeker GT4s. Apparently they rally them overseas. Would that interest you? So a nanosecond later, I'd sort of said yes, and that was the journey. But what makes Toyota a great rally car is they've built cars that are obviously strong, reliable, and also they've had the right size cars, a lot of four-wheel drive cars. If you look back at the Sleekers in the early days, and now the GR Yaris's, and it was pretty exciting after an absence of 25 years to see GR Corollas and Yaris's and so forth come into the foray, and exciting times with that, and we've just got a brand new Rally 2 Yaris GR, so we're excited to see how that goes this year. But an amazing company I've been involved in for a very long time, and it's like a family.
Yeah, GR Yaris, I'm so jealous. They are so cool. Harry, from your perspective, what just makes them great to drive?
Yeah, well, it's very special for me. I mean, at this point in my career, I'm fairly well embedded in the Gazoo Racing brand here in Australia, and globally, Gazoo Racing's quite a young brand for Toyota. It hasn't been around for that long, but it's brought about this huge range of cars that the customers can go out and buy that are far more related to the motorsport products that we're out there campaigning. So this GR Yaris AP4 sitting next to us here it runs the GR Yaris road car engine. Obviously the road car is 4-wheel drive standard. It's got limited slip diff standard, so it's quite closely related to the car we're out there rallying, and that's a really cool thing for not only the customer that they can buy those cars for the road, but also for me as a rally driver to be driving something that's so closely related to the road car. And, I think it's an exciting time for not only Toyota, but a lot of car brands to be bringing out more and more exciting products. And I think it's really a testament to car enthusiasts like everyone here today that these cars are back on the market, because I think over the years, these sorts of exciting vehicles like the GR products had disappeared from the market. You really couldn't get any sports cars. You couldn't really find many manuals around. And I know there's a lot of people out there who love driving manual cars. And now here they are back on the market. So, I think car enthusiasts deserve a bit of a pat on the back for that, because I think they really demanded it from the manufacturers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're in the market for a GR Yaris, we can have a chat afterwards, because this one here's for sale.
It's actually for sale.
Only if it's mates rates, Neil Bates. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. Wow, I must have had my wheat bix this morning. Far out. Alistair, Subies, they have a cult following, and for so many great reasons. Distinctive characteristics, a boxer engine, and again, we've grown up with them as we have many Toyota models as well. But yeah, for you and your experience, what makes them a great rally car, and why do people love them?
I don't think I can repeat what Harry's just said, and he said it perfectly. But I think for me, it's just the investment they put. They decided at that time they were going to invest in rallying to promote the sport, promote the cars, and they did an awesome job of it. And I think now, if you look at what the Toyota brand's doing with the GR, it's almost like, 25 or 30 years down the line, it's doing the same thing. So I think they just decided that's how they would promote the vehicle. They got the right team involved, the right engineers, right mechanics, and they built a very good car over a long period of time in the World Championship.
Fantastic. And let's talk about some of the incredible places that you've rallied around the world. Is there any moments that really stand out for you in any mark of car?
There's moments that stand out for the wrong reasons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then there's some that stand out for the right reasons. And I think I was talking to Harry earlier, if he ever gets the chance to go and drive in Sweden in the snow and ice, the feeling you get and the speed you carry in the snow and ice, it's kind of mind-blowing the first time you go there. To mix it with the Scandinavians is really difficult. But just, I think the very fast Sweden, Finland, New Zealand, Australia was always a great event, difficult event, just with the conditions, the kind of pea gravel that was there. But all the events have got their own character, their own difficultness, but they're also their own satisfaction when you get it right.
Gosh, yeah, I've always wanted to experience rally, but I know myself well enough to know I'm a scaredy cat.
There's a perfectly good car for sale here if you want to try it.
I'm going to end up buying this blinking car.
I know the person that buys it will get a good deal.
Only if you all sign it. Done. Okay, well, I've said yes already. Damn it, I was meant to play hard to get. Never mind. Anyway, Harry, talk to me about the future of rally, because we're really in a time where we're looking towards electrification, we're looking towards sustainability, renewables. So, yeah, talk to us how that kind of is factoring into rally as well.
So here in Australia in 2024, our team are moving towards a biofuel. So as of basically the start of the Australian Rally Championship season this year, we're running a carbon neutral fuel, or basically no emission fuel. So that's sort of our first step towards making our rallying more sustainable. But certainly overseas, they've taken steps already in the WRC with going hybrid. They've since announced recently that they're deleting hybrid next year. So I think there's a lot of things probably up in the air, I would say, at the moment. Electrification's not something that suits rallying at this point. We need, obviously, rallies are quite long distances, and electric cars at this point don't have the range to suit rallying. So I think there's a lot of development to go into that. But I also think motorsport has quite a long history of being at the forefront of development of these sorts of things. And probably the future of automotive, a lot of the answers are going to come from things like rallying, Formula One, off-road rally raid style events. So Yeah, I certainly think that rally's far from irrelevant in that sort of space. And I think in the future, a lot of what's going to be tested in rallying will end up being used on the road.
I think you're absolutely right, and thank you for that, because I was about to ask Neil. Last night we were at an event talking about synthetic fuels and the development of them and how that would factor into performance and motorsport and all the rest. A really great point that Gunter made was that you hand people in motorsport a constraint, and this is what you've got to develop for a date. You are giving it to the correct people that will go, okay, I still need to win. I need to... Well, he actually said for 24 hours, they'll think the world is over. They'll be like, that's it, I'm giving up, I'm never winning again. But then 24 hours later, they've come up with a solution. What would you say, how does that happen in rally?
Yeah, for sure, you're 100% correct on that. And for those of you that don't know, there was a study done many years ago about the military, and they actually looked at motorsport because the military was known to come up with some great technology, but it took them years and years to develop it. So they actually looked at the motorsport industry and how it did things so incredibly quickly. And, so when you talk, the fuel that Harry's talking about that will run this year is a synthetic fuel. You have a look at that. That's the start this year. You look in 3 or 4 years' time, and there'll be many other things in the cars to do with sustainability. And also as a team, we're looking at this year, and we're in the process of becoming a carbon neutral team as well for the whole outfit. So, there's many facets to all this, and when we look at the future of transportation, I know our governments have pushed electric only, but there's so many different scenarios with that. With hydrogen, electric's fantastic around town on short distances, but if you're driving a truck from Sydney to Perth, it'll take a very long time with a battery. And so there's going to be all sorts of different modes of transport and the way they're powered. So, but, as you say, introduce it into motorsport, 3 to 5 years' time, there'll be a lot of alternatives.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Could not have said that better. Alistair, let's talk about your two-wheeled future.
When I woke up this morning in the hotel and looked out the window and it was wet, I decided it had finished. That was it. I'm not going out unless they put the sunshine out or they get the hairdryer and dry the track. Definitely not.
Did you have that heart rate going up immediately?
Yeah, I just looked and went, oh, I'm going back to bed.
That's Alistair's diva demands. There they are.
I think we need to have a look at, it's announced here, 2025, MotoGP, Alice McRae.
My brain doesn't work quickly enough for that. My brain thinks it can do it. The body might not be able to, but I think in reality, I'm just having fun. Yeah. It's great to get out there and enjoy it. I did say, I think it was maybe about 4 years ago, I said to my wife that I wanted to do, I've done Dakar twice, but I wanted to do it on a motorbike for my 50th. And thankfully, COVID put pay to that idea. Because at 53, I reckon that I'm here because I didn't do Dakar.
Oh, that's sensational. Well, you'll absolutely make it to 54. You'll be fine. You didn't go out in the wet
I hope so.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Alistair McRae, Neil Bates and Harry Bates.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jen.